We need to go big to combat climate change and to grow our economy. Now, President Biden has proposed investing $174 billion in vehicle electrification, which is a good start. The Build Green Infrastructure and Jobs Act that I introduced with Senator Markey and Representatives Levin and Ocasio-Cortez would invest $500 billion over 10 years to help us get to all-electric public vehicles and rail. My forthcoming Buy Green Act with Congressman Levin will establish a further $1.5 trillion in federal procurement to purchase American-made clean energy products for federal, state, and local use and for export. President Biden has proposed raising taxes on the wealthy and on giant corporations to pay for these vital investments in our nation's infrastructure. Meanwhile, Republicans have proposed imposing user fees and fuel taxes rather than raise taxes on the wealthy and on big corporations. So, Dr. Kyle, let me ask you a question around this. Let's assume that a school teacher making the average teaching salary in Massachusetts and a CEO making millions of dollars a year both have the same distance to drive as their commute to work, and they use the same number of gallons of gas a year. Which one of them pays more as a share of their income when we pay for infrastructure investments by imposing a gasoline tax?
So, Senator, gasoline taxes tend to be regressive in that they impose a larger burden in terms of share of income that goes to pay for those taxes on people in the lower and middle income quintiles than they do on the upper income quintiles.
You just said in a fancier way. So the school teacher pays more as a share of his or her income than the wealthy person does if you use these user fees. I hope I got that right. Is that right, Dr. Kyle?
Yes, in the scenario you had, that was correct.
Good. You know, it is absurd to suggest that we should finance this investment on the backs of school teachers and firefighters and small business owners. President Biden and I have both put forward full menus of options for paying for these long overdue investments in our shared infrastructure, options that are not going to hurt the very people who are struggling the most to recover from this pandemic. My wealth tax, real corporate profits tax, tax enforcement plan. Those three things would raise $6 trillion without raising taxes on 99.9% of Americans by a single penny. And that's enough to pay for every penny of President Biden's American Jobs Plan, to pay for every single penny of his American Families Plan, and to still have $2 trillion left over.